Hi, my name is Jessica Wells, and the speech that I'm covering is The Morality of Birth Control, given by Margaret Sanger. The occasion of the speech was she wanted to address birth control to her audience if it was morally correct or not. The speech was considered to be great because she wanted to ask people their opinion on birth control and then explained why women and men both should have the right to determine if they want to be parents and if birth control was correct for them. She was speaking to both men and women, saying that both genders had the right to decide if they wanted to be parents, talking to the followers of what she believed and also her opponents. She wants to change the law so that people could choose if they wanted to have children or not. I believe the speaker uses pathos and logos. She uses pathos because she delivers her speech with a great amount of emotion while speaking to her audience, and then also logos because she states that not everyone is cut out to be a parent, and those who believe that should have the right to decide if they want to have children or not. The speaker uses anaphora throughout her speech because she says that we have the right to decide whether we have children or not. She wants to stop poverty, disease, and feeble-mindedness and insanity, which exists today in a great massive amount. Part of the speech that I memorized is, the one issue upon which there seems to be most uncertainty and disagreement in the moral side of the subject of birth control. It seemed only natural for us to call together scientists, educators, members of the medical profession, and the theologians of all denominations to ask their opinion upon this uncertain and important phase of controversy. Letters were sent to men and women of the world. We sent such letters to those who we thought might agree with us, but also those who are known opponents. Most of these people did answer back to the letters. We stand on the principle that birth control should be available to every adult man and woman. We believe that every adult man and woman should be taught the responsibility and the right use of knowledge, with the right use of knowledge. We claim that women should have the right over her own body to say if she shall or if she shall not be a mother as she sees fit. We further claim that the first right of a child is to be desired. While the second right is that it should be conceived and loved, and the third that it should have a heritage sound health. Upon these principles of birth control movement in American stands, when it comes to discussing the methods of birth control, that is far more difficult. There are laws in this country which forbid the imparting of practical information to the mothers of the land. We claim that every mother in this country, either sick or well, has the right to the best, the safest, the most scientific information. This information should be given directly to the mothers through clinics by members of the medical profession, registered nurses, and registered midwives. Our first step is to have the backing of the medical profession so that our laws may be changed so that motherhood may be the function of dignity and choice rather than one of ignorance and chance. Conscious control of offspring is now becoming the ideal and the custom in all civilized countries. Those who oppose it claim that, however desirable it may be on economic and social groups, it may be abused and the morals of the youth of the country may be lowered. Such people should be reminded that there are 2 points to be considered. First, that such control is inevitable advanced in civilization. Every civilization involves an increased forethought for others, even those yet unborn. The reckless abandonment of the impulse of the moment and the careless regard for consequences is not abandonment, is not mortality. The selfish gratification of the temporary desire at the expense of suffering to lives that will come may seem to be very beautiful to some, but is not our conception of civilization or is our concept of mortality. In the second place, it is not inevitable, but it is right to control the size of the family. For this control and adjustment, we can raise the level and the standards of human race. While nature's way of reducing her numbers is controlled by disease, famine, and war, primitive man has achieved by the results of exposure of infants, the abandonment of children, and by abortion. But such ways of controlling population is no longer possible for us. We have attained high standards of life, and along the lines of science, we must conduct such control. We must begin farther back and control the beginnings of lives. We must control conception. This is a better method and is more civilized method, for it involves not only a greater forethought for others, but finally a higher sanction for the value of life itself.